You are not weak. You are not broken. You are hijacked. Right now, somewhere in the world, a man scrolls endlessly Instagram, YouTube news, games, feeling empty yet unable to stop. He's not lazy. He's not undisciplined. His brain has been captured by forces far more sophisticated than willpower alone can overcome. This book is for him. And for you, we live in the most connected, stimulating, reward-saturated era in human history. Yet depression, anxiety, attention deficits, and addiction are at record highs. Why? Because our brains evolved in a world of scarcity, but we now live in a world of artificial abundance. Every swipe, click, and scroll delivers a microdose of dopamine, training us to seek, not to savor, to react, not to reflect the result. A quiet epidemic of mental fragmentation. We are everywhere and nowhere at once, but there is a way out. This book reveals how dopamine, the molecule of motivation, has been weaponized by technology, and how you can reclaim your brain, reset your baseline, and rebuild unshakable focus, discipline, and peace. This is not about shame. It's about science, not punishment. But liberation? Welcome to your dopamine detox. Now let's begin with a story. At 34, Mark was successful by every external measure. He ran a marketing agency, owned a condo in Austin, and posted enviable travel photos on Instagram. But behind closed doors, he was unraveling. Every night, he'd tell himself, just 20 minutes of YouTube before bed. By 3 a.m., he'd be deep in conspiracy theory rabbit holes, porn loops, or gaming marathons, exhausted, ashamed. And unable to stop, he'd tried willpower. Cold turkey, app blockers, therapy. Nothing stuck. I feel like a ghost in my own life, he told his coach. Like I'm watching myself waste time, but I can't grab the wheel. Mark wasn't lazy. He wasn't broken. His brain had been hijacked by a molecule he'd never even seen but that ruled his every impulse. That molecule? Dopamine. And until he understood what it really was, and what it isn't, he'd keep losing the battle. For decades, popular science has labeled dopamine the pleasure chemical. Watch a funny video? Dopamine. Eat chocolate. Dopamine. Get a like. Dopamine. This is dangerously incomplete. Dopamine isn't about pleasure. It's about anticipation, motivation, and seeking. Think of it this way. Pleasure happens after you get the reward that's opioids. Serotonin, endocannabinoids. Dopamine fires before when you expect a reward, driving you to chase it. In the 1950s, neuroscientists James Olds and Peter Milner implanted electrodes in rats' brains. When the rats pressed a lever that stimulated the dopamine-rich nucleus accumbens, they would press it thousands of times an hour, ignoring food, water, even baby rats, until they collapsed from exhaustion. But here's the twist. The rats didn't look happy. They looked obsessed, frantic. Driven, that's because dopamine doesn't say, "This feels good." It says, "Do it again now, more." Dopamine flows through a deeply conserved neural highway called the mesolimbic pathway. Ventral tegmental area VTA, the ignition switch nucleus accumbens, the motivation engine. Prefrontal cortex, the executive planner, and ancestral times, this system kept us alive. Sea berries. Gives dopamine spikes, gives you walk toward them, smell smoke. Gives dopamine surges, gives you investigate, is it fire, danger. Opportunity. Closing parenthesis, the system evolved for scarcity. Rare, effortful rewards that required patience and planning. But modern tech flipped the script now. Rewards are infinite, instant, and effortless. Swipe gives new face. Refresh gives new post. Click gives new video. Each microaction triggers a dopamine burst, training your brain to seek, not savor. Here's the hidden crisis. Chronic overstimulation lowers your dopamine baseline. Imagine your brain has a dopamine thermostat. Natural rewards, a home-cooked meal. A hard workout, a deep conversation, gently nudge the needle. Artificial rewards, scrolling. Binge watching, vaping, blasted off the charts at first. You feel amazing, but over time, your brain adapts. It downregulates dopamine receptors. Fewer docks for the chemical, it reduces natural production. It raises the threshold for what feels worth it result. Boredom with real life needing more stimulation for the same effect. Anhedonia. Inability to feel joy from ordinary pleasures. This isn't weakness. It's neurochemical recalibration. Consider the difference between natural and artificial rewards. Natural rewards require effort. Deliver delayed payoff. Come with satiety. Strengthen focus. And raise your baseline over time. Artificial rewards require zero effort. Deliver instant gratification, have no off-ramp, erode attention, and crash your baseline. A 2022 fMRI study showed that after 2 weeks of heavy social media use, participants' brains responded 40% less to natural rewards, like photos of friends or nature scenes, but 25%. More to notification sounds. Your brain is being retuned, away from life, toward the screen. Take Lena, a 20-year-old student who used to love painting. She'd lose hours in her sketchbook, lost in flow. Then she got TikTok. At first, it was fun, quick laughs, dance trends. But within months, she was scrolling 6+ hours a day. Her grades dropped. She stopped painting. Even walks felt boring. I don't even get excited about things anymore, she said. Not even my birthday. Her dopamine baseline had collapsed. Only the hyperstimulus of algorithmic content could move the needle. After a 10-day detox, no screens. Just walks, journaling, and canvas. She painted for 4 hours straight, tears streaming. I forgot what it felt like to be me, she whispered, for the next 72 hours. Track every time you feel a craving or urge. Use this template. Time. Craving for. Trigger board. Stressed. Lonely. Action taken. How you felt after. At the end, ask, what patterns do you see? Which activities raise your mood long term? Which leave you empty? This isn't judgment. It's data collection. Pick one artificial dopamine source, for example. Social media, YouTube, gaming, and delay it by 15 minutes every time you feel the urge. Use that time to breathe, stretch, or ask, do I really want this, or is my brain on autopilot? You're not giving up pleasure. You're reclaiming your attention. The craving is not a command. It's a signal one you can learn to read, not obey. Dow. Let's go deeper into the world that made this crisis inevitable. In 1954, psychologist B.F. Skinner placed pigeons in a box with a lever that occasionally released food. Unbeknownst to the birds, the food appeared at random intervals not tied to their actions. Yet within hours, the pigeons developed compulsive rituals, spinning, head bobbing, pecking at the lever repeatedly. They had become convinced their behavior controlled the reward. Skinner called this superstitious learning. Billions of humans live inside a vastly more sophisticated version of that box, except the lever is a touchscreen. The reward is a variable mix of likes, videos, messages, and news. And the box is always in our pocket. We are the pigeons. And the experiment never ends. For 99% of human history, rewards were scarce, delayed, and effortful. Food required hunting or farming. Social connection meant walking miles to a neighbor's hut. Entertainment was storytelling around a fire, limited by memory and daylight. Your brain evolved in this world of scarcity. Dopamine surged when you spotted game on the horizon, not when you devoured it, because the pursuit is what kept you alive. But in the last 20 years, technology has flipped this equation. Rewards are now infinite, endless scroll autoplay. Recommendation engines, instant notification in 1 second, effortless swipe. Tap. Click, no skill or patience required. This creates a neurological mismatch. A Stone Age. Brain navigating a Silicon Valley world. Dr. Anna Lemge, Stanford addiction specialist and author of Dopamine Nation, puts it bluntly, we've created a world where the carrot is always dangling, never eaten, and the donkey is running itself to death. Every time you unlock your phone, you're pulling a lever. Will you get a text from someone you love? A viral meme? Bad news? Nothing at all? You don't know. And that uncertainty is the most addictive stimulus of all. Neuroscience confirms this. Variable ratio reinforcement schedules, where rewards come unpredictably, produce the highest, most persistent dopamine spikes. This is the same principle used in casino slot machines. Tristan Harris, former Google design ethicist, calls smartphones the first device in human history designed to be addictive by default.
Oh.
Features like red notification badges exploiting our threat detection system, infinite scroll, no natural stopping cues, autoplay removing the decision point, are not accidents. They're the result of billions of dollars in behavioral research. It's aimed at maximizing engagement, not your well-being. Consider these numbers. The average person checks their phone 96 times per day, a survey in 2023. Teens spend 9 hours daily on screens, common sense media. Human attention span has dropped to 8 seconds, less than a goldfish's 9 seconds. Microsoft. 2015. This isn't just distraction. It's neural erosion. Every time you switch tasks from email to Slack to Instagram, your brain burns glucose and releases cortisol. After just 20 minutes of fragmented attention, your prefrontal cortex, responsible for focus, planning, and self-control, begins to underperform. A University of California study found that just having your phone nearby, even face down, reduces cognitive capacity by 10%. Your brain is still monitoring it, waiting for the next hit. Take Jared, a 19-year-old college student who downloaded TikTok just to see what it was about. Within weeks, he was spending 4 to 6 hours a night scrolling. Short videos, 15 seconds of dance, 8 seconds of prank, 20 seconds of life hack flooded his brain with micro-dopamine bursts. I'd tell myself, one more video, he said, but my thumb just kept swipping. In 2012, a 28-year-old software engineer named Daniel opened World of Warcraft after work, thinking he'd play for a short session. Instead, he played for 3 days straight. He skipped meetings, forgot meals, and slept in his chair. When his girlfriend tried to interrupt him, he snapped, "I just need to finish this quest," without taking his eyes off the screen. This wasn't new. Over the past year, gaming had shifted from a hobby to a compulsion. He had lost 15 pounds. His work performance was slipping, and his relationship was falling apart. But every attempt to quit brought anxiety, irritation, and a deep emptiness that pulled him back in. Daniel never intended to become addicted. He was simply responding to a loop that his brain had practiced thousands of times. Every addictive behavior, scrolling, smoking, binge eating, gaming, follows the same neurological sequence. Behavioral psychologist Nir Eyal, expanding on Charles Duhigg's work, describes a 4-stage loop. Cue, a trigger that starts the behavior. Craving, the dopamine-driven urge to act. Response, the behavior itself. Reward, the temporary relief or payoff. This loop is not evil. It helps us build useful habits like brushing our teeth or studying. But when the reward becomes artificially intense and instantly available, the loop reinforces itself and becomes hard to break. Dopamine spikes not when the reward arrives, but during craving, when your brain predicts a reward using past experience. See a notification? Gives dopamine rises, gives you have to check. Walk past fast food. Gives dopamine jumps, gives you suddenly want it. This is incentive salience. Your brain marks something as important. Yes. Whether or not you consciously think so. In addiction, this system becomes exaggerated. The cue becomes powerful and urgent. While the prefrontal cortex, the rational part of the brain, struggles to say no. With enough repetition, the brain changes. Tolerance. You need more stimulation to feel the same effect. Withdrawal. Without it, you feel low, anxious, and empty. Hedonic treadmill. You chase more and more, but never feel satisfied. That's why just try harder almost never works. Willpower is limited. It's like a battery, meanwhile. Tech companies use teams of neuroscientists, behavioral experts, and AI specialists to bypass your self-control and trigger your limbic system directly. They use one-tap designs, unpredictable rewards, social proof.fo, Mo alerts. Against that, willpower is like a wooden shield facing a missile. Daniel finally hit rock bottom when he missed his best friend's wedding because he was in the middle of a raid, embarrassed and drained. He sought help. His therapist taught him the addiction loop. For the first time, he saw his behavior as a pattern, not a personal failure. He began removing cues, uninstalled the game, deleted accounts, replacing the response 10 push-ups when the craving hit, delaying the reward, 30-minute wait before deciding to play. Within 6 weeks, his sleep improved. Within 4 months, he returned to graduate school. A year later, he married his girlfriend. I didn't need more willpower, he said. I needed a better map. Take a moment and map one of your own habits: scrolling, sugar, porn, late-night apps. Cue. What started it? Time, emotion, place, person. Craving. What did you feel? Restless, bored, stressed? Response. What action did you take? Step by step. Reward. What did you get? Relief, distraction, numbness? Then ask, can I remove or change the cue? Can I pause between craving and response? Can I replace the reward with something healthier? This becomes your blueprint. Addiction. Is a loop not a flaw? Dopamine drives craving not. Pleasure, tolerance, and withdrawal are biological, not weakness. You can't outfight a trillion-dollar attention economy, but you can redesign your environment, choose one cue, and eliminate it. Turn off notifications. Move apps away from the home screen. Delete one app completely. Charge your phone outside your bedroom. Small cue changes. Break the loop before it starts. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. Now let's clear up a harmful misunderstanding. In 2019, a video titled, "I did a dopamine detox for 48 hours, went viral. The creator avoided social media, caffeine, music, and even eye contact. After 2 days, he claimed he had completely reset his brain. Thousands tried to copy him. Most failed within hours. Some felt even worse, more anxious and disconnected. The problem wasn't the intention, it was the misunderstanding. A dopamine detox does not mean removing dopamine. That is impossible and dangerous. Low dopamine is linked to depression and Parkinson's disease. The real goal is not zero dopamine, is lowering artificial, high-intensity stimulation so the brain can return to normal sensitivity. Myth 1. Detox means no pleasure. Truth. You avoid artificial spikes, not real life. You can still eat, talk, walk, and read. Myth 2. If it doesn't hurt, it's not working. Truth. Discomfort is normal. But suffering is not the purpose. Myth 3. One detox cures everything. Truth. Detox resets. Lifestyle change sustains. Myth 4. It's a fad. Truth. The science is decades old. The need for it is new. Think of recovery in 2 parts. Detox short-term. Reset lasts 1 to 14 days. Goal, reduce. Stimulation. Focus. Cutting compulsive. Behaviors, lifestyle, long-term regulation lasts. Ongoing goal, build healthy reward pathways. Focus. Design a low stimulus. Environment. Trying moderation before detox rarely. Works. Doing detox without a long-term plan leads to relapse. A good detox works on 3 layers. Behavioral. Stop compulsive behaviors. Add calm, analog activities. Environmental. Remove cues. Add friction. No AUTOPLAY. Cognitive. Change the story. Urge as a signal, not a command. Trying to quit everything at once overwhelms the nervous system. Removing all stimulation at the same time can cause anxiety, mood swings, isolation, penalize. Instead, use targeted deprivation. Reduce the strongest triggers while keeping healthy. Inputs like walking or journaling. Before you start, check. Do I know why I'm detoxing? Do I have support or accountability? Is this a stable week? Do I have substitutes for cravings? Am I targeting specific triggers, not my whole life? If not, adjust. A 24-hour micro-detox is better than a failed week-long attempt. When Maria, a 32-year-old freelance designer, realized she was spending over 6 hours a day scrolling, gaming, and doom-scrolling often, until 3 a.m. she knew something had to change. Willpower hadn't worked. App limiters failed within days. She felt mentally foggy, emotionally flat, and creatively barren. Then she tried a structured reset. Not forever. Just 7 days. No social media. No YouTube. No background music. No news. No snacking while working. Just her laptop, her sketchbook, and silence. By day 3, she felt restless, like her skin was crawling. By day 5, she painted for 4 uninterrupted hours. By day 7, she had completed a client project 2 weeks ahead of schedule and felt a sense of calm she hadn't known in years. Maria didn't quit the internet. She hit reset. Neuroscience suggests that 3 to 7 days of abstinence from high dopamine stimuli is enough to begin downregulating dopamine receptors, reduce baseline craving intensity, restore partial sensitivity to natural rewards. It's not a cure, but it's a catalyst, a neurological clean slate to build from. Think of it like fasting for your attention. Before we begin, internalize these rules. This is not punishment. It's maintenance, like oiling a machine. Discomfort is data, not danger. Boredom, restlessness, and mental fog are signs the detox is working. Perfection isn't required. If you slip, note it without judgment and recommit. Focus on what you gain, not what you lose. Clarity.com/creativity. Day 1. Digital fast goal. Break the digital reflex. Delete or disable. Social media. YouTube. TikTok. Gaming apps, turn off all non-essential notifications. Keep only calls, texts from close family, no news. Podcasts or audiobooks. No background music or TV while working. Eating permitted. Phone calls. In-person conversations, reading physical books, cooking, walking. Evening reflection prompt. When did I feel the strongest urge today? What was I avoiding? Day 2. Sensory simplification. Goal. Reduce ambient noise. No music heaven during workouts or chores. No white noise. Lo-fi beats or ambient soundscapes. Eat meals in silence. No screens. No talking. Minimize visual clutter. Tidy workspace. Clear desktop permitted. Nature sounds if outside. Silence. Mindful listening practice. Sit for 10 minutes with eyes closed. Just listen to the room. Evening reflection prompt. What did I notice when the noise stopped? Day 3. Delayed gratification practice. Goal. Rebuild impulse control before any non-essential reward snack. Coffee, checking phone, wait 10 minutes during the wait. Breathe deeply. Write 1 sentence in a journal, or stretch. No, just 1 peek if it's restricted. It's off limits permitted. Essential rewards meals. Necessary communications science note. This trains your prefrontal cortex to override limbic impulses. Evening reflection prompt. How many urges faded on their own after 10 minutes? Day 4. Boredom exposure goal. Reclaim stillness. Schedule 2 20-minute blocks of planned boredom. Sit quietly. No phone. No book. No task. Let your mind wander. Don't resist discomfort when urges arise. Observe them like clouds passing. Tip. Do this after a meal or before bed. Evening reflection prompt. What thoughts or feelings emerged in the quiet? Were they as threatening as I feared? Day 5. Movement without distraction. Goal. Reconnect body and mind. Take a 30-minute walk. No headphones. No phone. Do a workout without screens or music. Focus on breath. Footfalls, wind, posture permitted. Gym, trail. Backyard needwear, you can be present. Science note. Exercise naturally boosts dopamine without crashing your baseline, especially when done mindfully. Evening reflection. Prompt. How did my body feel when I wasn't trying to escape it? Day 6. Analog engagement goal. Rediscover low-stimulus joy. Read a physical book. Nonfiction or fiction, no audiobooks. Write by hand. Journal. Letter. To-do list. Cook a meal from scratch. Draw. Build, garden, or craft something. Tact a rule. If it requires a screen, skip it. Evening reflection prompt. Which analog activity felt most satisfying? Why? Day 7. Reflection and recalibration goal. Integrate insights. Review all 6 days of reflections. Answer. What behavior caused the most disruption? What absence felt most freeing? What will I permanently change? Draft your post-detox digital charter. See toolkit below. Celebrate. Do something meaningful. Call a friend. Watch a sunset. Write a gratitude list. Evening reflection prompt. Who am I when I'm not chasing the next hit? Craving response card. Keep in wallet or phone lock screen. This urge will peak in 10 minutes. I don't have to act. I can breathe. Wait and choose. Emergency alternatives. 5-minute walk for 7-8. Breathing. Inhale for hold 7. Exhale 8. Cold splash of water on face. Right. What am I feeling right now? Digital charter template. Post-detox. I will only use social media between 6 to 7 p.m. 3x week. My phone stays out of the bedroom. No screens during meals or 1 hour before bed. Raphael. Founder of a SaaS startup. Used to check email the moment he woke up, often before getting out of bed. His days began in reactivity, stress, and mental fragmentation. After the 7-day reset, he implemented a new rule: no screens until after 9 a.m. instead. He journaling, meditated, and had coffee with his wife. Within a month, his team noted he was calmer, clearer, and more decisive. His company's Q3 revenue grew by 22%. It wasn't about giving things up, he said. It was about giving myself back. 7 days is enough to interrupt the addiction loop and begin neural recalibration. Each day targets a different dimension of overstimulation. Discomfort is temporary. Clarity is cumulative. The goal isn't deprivation. It's reconnection with what matters. Commit to the full 7-day reset plan. Prepare your environment in advance. Tell one person for accountability. Use the reflection prompts daily. You're not losing stimulation. You're gaining sovereignty. In the silence between stimuli, the self returns. Now, let's prepare for what happens when the urges hit. After 3 days without Instagram, video games, or background music, Lena felt like her skin was crawling. She paced her apartment. Checked her locked phone drawer 10 times. Felt a gnawing emptiness she couldn't name. At one point, she burst into tears, not from sadness, but from the sheer intensity of wanting something, anything, to fill the void. She wasn't failing. She was in dopamine withdrawal. When you remove high dopamine, inputs your brain has come to rely on, 3 neurochemical shifts occur. Dopamine levels drop below baseline. Your brain has downregulated production and receptor sensitivity. Without artificial spikes, you feel flat, unmotivated, and mentally foggy. Adenosine builds up. Constant stimulation suppresses adenosine, the chemical that signals rest. When stimulation stops, adenosine floods your system, causing fatigue, brain fog, and lethargy. Cortisol rises. Your stress response system activates because your brain interprets the absence of expected rewards as a threat. This fuels anxiety, irritability, and the desperate urge to fix the discomfort. These are not signs of weakness. They are predictable, temporary neuroadaptations. Cravings feel urgent, but they are not emergencies. Neuroscience shows that dopamine-driven urges peak within 5 to 15 minutes. Then subside if you don't act on them. This is the foundation of the 10-minute rule. When a craving hits, commit to waiting 10 minutes before acting. During that time, do not fight the urge. Observe it. Developed in addiction therapy. Urge surfing treats cravings like ocean waves. They rise, crest, and fall. How to practice when an urge arises. Pause. Close your eyes if safe. Locate the sensation in your body-tight chest. Restless hands. Breathe into it. Don't resist, allow it to be. Watch it like a scientist. Ah, there's the craving. It's strong now. It's peaking. It's softening. Write it out without acting. Studies show that people who practice urge surfing reduce relapse rates by up to 40%. Many people believe that one quick check just to see if anything important came in won't hurt, but neurologically, it does. Each exposure to a high dopamine trigger reactivates. The addiction loop reinforces the neural pathway. Delays baseline recovery by 24 to 48 hours. It's like stopping a fast with one bite of KQ. Broken the metabolic reset. During detox, abstinence must be complete to allow neurochemical RECA prodders. Support your brain with sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours. Sleep deprivation amplifies cravings by 30%. Protein and healthy fats. Dopamine is made from tyrosine found in eggs, almonds, fish. Hydration. Even mild dehydration increases irritability and mental fog. Avoid sugar and caffeine. Both destabilize blood sugar and mimic dopamine spikes. Your brain heals faster when your body is nourished. Use this two-part practice when cravings hit. Part R. Urge journaling. Do in the moment. Answer quickly in a notebook or notes app. What do I want? Where do I feel it in my body? What emotion am I avoiding? How intense is it 1 to 10? Part 2. STOP method. S. Stop. Freeze your body. T. Take one deep breath. O. Observe your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. P. Proceed with intention, on impulse. Do this for 3 days straight. Patterns will emerge. Marcus had gambled away $80,000 before hitting rock bottom. In early recovery, urges hit like lightning, sudden, intense, overwhelming. His therapist taught him the 10-minute rule and urge surfing. He kept a craving log on his phone. After 2 weeks, he noticed a pattern. Urges always spiked at 8 p.m. Time he used to visit the casino, he started going for a walk at 7:45 p.m. instead. Within a month, the 8 p.m. urge vanished. It wasn't about willpower, he said. It was about changing the script. Withdrawal is temporary, biology, not permanent. Failure, cravings peak and pass within 10 to 15 minutes if not fed. Urge. Surfing builds tolerance without suppression. 1. Slip resets neurochemical recovery. Stay clean during detox. For the next 7 days, every time a craving arises, use the STOP method and wait 10 minutes before acting. Journal the experience afterward. You are not your urges. You are the awareness behind them. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose. In 2018, author and programmer Cal Newport set out to write a book in 30 days. He blocked his calendar, cleared his desk, and silenced his phone. Yet by mid-morning, he found himself reflexively opening Twitter, despite having deleted the app weeks earlier. He typed the URL by hand. He wasn't undisciplined. His brain had been rewired by years of digital fragmentation, after just a few years of constant notifications, multitasking, and rapid context, which in Newport's ability to sustain deep focus had atrophied. He could no longer voluntarily direct his attention for more than 20 minutes without an urge to check something. He wasn't alone. A Microsoft study found that the average knowledge worker switches tasks every 3 minutes. Another study showed that just the presence of a smartphone reduces cognitive capacity by 10%, even when it's off. The good news? Attention is not fixed. It's a muscle, and like any muscle, it can be rebuilt. Contrary to popular belief, the human brain cannot truly multitask. What we call multitasking is actually tasks which end rapidly. toggling between activities. Each switch carries a cognitive cost. Up to 40% loss in productivity, increased error rates, elevated stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, depletion of glucose in the prefrontal cortex. A University of London study found that people who frequently switched between digital tasks experienced IQ drops equivalent to missing a night's sleep or smoking marijuana, deep work sustained. Undistracted focus on a cognitively demanding task is the antidote. Based on neuroscience and performance research, deep work requires time blocks. Work in 60 to 90-minute intervals aligned with your ultradian rhythm. Tension anchors use a focal point breath. Sentence, code line to gently return when distracted. Distraction pads keep a notepad nearby to jot down intrusive thoughts. Check email, Google X, so you can return to them later without breaking flow. Environmental cues design a ritual. Same desk, same lighting, same start time that signals to your brain it's focus time. Practical tools for focus include Pomodoro 2.0, work 25 minutes. Break 5, but during the break, no screens. Stretch, stare out the window. SIP water, forest app. Grow a virtual tree that dies if you leave the leveraging loss aversion to stay focused. Do not disturb mode. Enable it on all devices during focus blocks. Schedule automatic activation. Physical barriers. Wear noise-canceling headphones. Even without music to signal, do not interrupt. Elias had published 2 novels in his 20s. By 35, he hadn't written a full page in 3 years. I sit down, and within minutes, I'm checking news, email, Twitter, he confessed. I feel paralyzed. He committed to a 30-day focus rebuild. Deleted all social media, installed a website blocker, Freedom. Started with just 15-minute writing sprints. Used a distraction pad for intrusive thoughts. By week 2, he was writing for 45 minutes straight. By day 30, he had 12,000 words of a new manuscript. I didn't get more disciplined, he said. I just stopped fighting my own brain. Do this daily for 1 week. Choose one cognitively demanding task: writing, comment studying, planning. Set a timer for 25 minutes. Silence all devices. Place them out of sight. Begin when distracted. Note the thought on your distraction pad and return. When the timer rings, stop Evan, if mid-sentence. Take a 5-minute break with no screens. After 7 days, increase to 45 minutes. This isn't about output. It's about retraining attentional control. Boredom is not the enemy of focus, it's the gateway. Neuroscientists at the University of Central Lancashire found that people who regularly experienced boredom showed higher creativity and problem-solving ability afterward. Why? Because boredom forces the brain into default mode network DMN activation, the state where insight, self-reflection, and big-picture thinking occur. Schedule daily boredom. Walk without headphones. Wait in line without your phone. Sit in silence. Let your mind wander. From that void, focus returns stronger. Attention is a trainable skill. It's not a fixed trait. Tasks switching destroys productivity. Deep work rebuilds it. Environmental design matters more than motivation. Boredom is not wasted time. It's neural recalibration. Perform 5 25-minute focus sprints this week on a meaningful task. Use a distraction pad. No screens during breaks. Track your mental clarity before and after each session. You are not regaining attention. You are reclaiming your mind. Concentration is the root of all higher ability. After 2 weeks of detoxing from social media, video games, and streaming, Daniel felt something unexpected. Not emptiness, but a quiet sense of fullness. He started noticing the warmth of sunlight through his window. He lingered over his morning coffee. He took walks without headphones and found himself smiling at birds, trees, even the sound of rain. His brain wasn't broken. It was healing. For the first time in years. His reward system was responding to natural stimuli, the kind humans evolved with over millennia. These rewards don't hijack the brain. They harmonize with it. Artificial rewards are high intensity. Laforta and dissociated from survival value, infinite. Scroll delivers novelty without knowledge. Pornography offers arousal without intimacy. Ultra-processed foods provide taste without nutrition. Natural rewards are moderate intensity, effortful, and tied to biological purpose. A. Walk in nature reduces cortisol and boosts BDNF. A deep conversation releases oxytocin and dopamine together. Completing a hard task builds self-efficacy and calm pride. The key distinction: natural rewards come with satiety signals. You stop when full. Artificial rewards have no off-ramp. Physical. Movement is one of the most potent natural dopamine boosters, especially when done mindfully. A 2021 study in Nature found that just 20 minutes of moderate exercise, brisk walking, cycling, swimming increases dopamine receptor availability in the striatum for up to 48 hours. Unlike scrolling where dopamine spikes and crashes, exercise delivers a smooth, sustained elevation that enhances mood, focus, and motivation without tolerance buildup. Make movement non-negotiable, but keep it simple. Daily. Walk no phone. Strength training 2 to 3 times per week. Stretching or yoga for body awareness. The goal isn't performance. It's embodied presence. Cold showers, ice baths, or even splashing cold water on your face trigger a dramatic but clean dopamine surge up to 250% above baseline. According to research from the Netherlands, unlike artificial stimuli, cold exposure has no addictive potential, improves resilience to stress, enhances norepinephrine focus and immune function. Start small. End your shower with 30 seconds of cold water. Build to 2 to 3 minutes. Wim Hof. The Iceman attributes his mental clarity and energy to daily cold immersion. It teaches you to breathe through discomfort, he says. And that's life. Morning sunlight regulates your circadian rhythm, which directly governs dopamine production. Exposure to natural light within. 30 to 60 minutes of waking suppresses melatonin and boosts dopamine gently. This stabilizes mood, sharpens focus, and improves sleep quality. Aim for 10 to 30 minutes of morning sunglasses, no phone. Let your eyes absorb the full spectrum in winter or low-light climates. Consider a 10,000 lux light therapy. Lamp used within an hour of waking. Human brains are wired for connection. Face-to-face interaction, especially with trust and vulnerability triggers. A dopamine-oxytocin cascade that feels deeply satisfying and promotes long-term well-being. Unlike digital validation, likes, comments, real connection requires presence. Not performance, builds mutual trust over time, has no algorithmic manipulation. Prioritize weekly coffee or walks with close friends, device-free family meals, joining clubs, classes, or volunteer groups. Quality greater than quantity. One deep conversation a week is worth more than 100 shallow interactions. Create a list of 10 healthy stimulus activities that reliably improve your mood and focus. Include at least one from each category. Movement. Example: 30-minute walk in the park. Nature. Example: sit under a tree and journal. Creation. Example: play guitar for 20 minutes. Connection. Example: call my sister without distractions. Mindfulness. Example: 10-minute breathwork session. Learning. Example: read 10 pages of a physical book. Post this menu where you'll see it daily. When cravings hit, choose one instead of defaulting to digital escape. After years of 5+ hours of daily scrolling, Lena felt numb to real life. During her detox, she forced herself to try boring activities: walking, cooking, sketching. At first, they felt unsatisfying, but by week 2, she noticed something. After a walk, I feel calm, not wired. After sketching, I feel proud, not empty. She now starts every morning with sunlight and ends every evening with a handwritten note to a friend. My dopamine isn't gone, she said. It's just finally serving me. Natural rewards align with biology. Artificial rewards exploit it. Exercise. Cold exposure, sunlight, and real connection deliver clean. Sustainable dopamine. Satiety is the hallmark of healthy reward. No infinite loops. No crashes. Rebuilding a dopamine-rich life isn't about deprivation. It's about rediscovery. Choose 3 natural dopamine sources from this chapter and do each at least twice this week. Track how you feel before and after, especially 30 minutes later. When artificial highs would have faded, you are not giving up pleasure. You are upgrading to joy. The soul is healed by being with children, by walking in the woods, by listening to music, by reading poetry. It's Dostoevsky now. Let's turn inward to the mindset that sustains this transformation. For 10 years, Marcus lived on autopilot. A notification would ping, his hand would move. He'd feel stress-stretch for YouTube. He'd wake up anxious, scroll Instagram to numb out. His days were a series of reflexes, not choices. Then, during a 7-day dopamine detox, something shifted. On day 4, bored and restless, he sat with the discomfort instead of fleeing it. He noticed his breath. He felt his feet on the floor. He watched his thoughts pass like clouds. In that stillness, he realized, I am not my impulses. I am the space around them. That moment didn't make him perfect, but it made him aware. Awareness is the first step to regulation. Interoception is your ability to sense internal bodily signals: heartbeat, breath, muscle tension, gut feelings. It's the foundation of emotional regulation. People with high interoceptive awareness recognize cravings before they peak, detect stress earlier, make decisions aligned with their values. NEUROS, NEUROSCIENTISTS, links strong interoception to a thicker insula. The brain region that integrates body and mind. Practice it daily. Pause 3 times per day and ask, what am I feeling in my body right now? Notice hunger, fatigue, tension, without judgment. Use body scans, lie down. Mentally scan from toes to scalp. The more you tune in, the less you're hijacked by external stimuli. Your breath is the fastest path to nervous system regulation. 2 techniques are especially powerful. Box breathing used by Navy SEALs. Inhale for seconds. Gives hold 4, gives exhale 4, gives hold 4. Repeat 5 cycles. Calms the amygdala, enhances focus. Physiological sigh from Dr. Andrew Huberman. Double inhale through the nose, short breath, and full breath gives long exhale through the mouth. Reduces anxiety in under 60 seconds. Use these not just in crisis, but proactively. Before checking your phone, before opening email, upon waking, behavior change starts with identity. Instead of I'm trying to stop scrolling, say, I am someone who protects my attention. Instead of I'm cutting back on junk food, say, I am someone who fuels my body with care. James Clear, in Atomic Habits, explains, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. When your identity aligns with your goals, discipline becomes self-expression, not self-denial. Willpower isn't built in grand gestures. It's forged in micro moments of choice. Choosing water over soda. Writing 1 paragraph instead of scrolling. Taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Each small win releases a modest dopamine hit, rewarding the right behavior. Strengthens the prefrontal cortex. Builds self-trust. Track them. Celebrate them. They compound into unshakable self-efficacy. After a decade of pornography addiction, David felt broken. Therapy helped, but real change came when he shifted his identity. He stopped saying, I'm fighting my addiction. He started saying, I am a man of integrity and presence. He built small wins. Morning journaling, cold showers, daily walks with his dog, no phone. Within a year, he repaired his marriage, launched a coaching practice, and published a memoir. I didn't overcome addiction by resisting it, he said. I outgrew it by becoming someone it no longer fit. Part 1. Identity affirmation. Write a statement that reflects who you are becoming. I am someone who. Examples. Commands my attention. Chooses depth over distraction. honors my mind with stillness. Read it aloud each morning. Over time, this builds evidence that you are changing. Interoception anchors you in your body, not your impulses. Breath is a direct lever on your nervous system. Identity shapes behavior more than willpower ever. Can small wins compound into unshakable self-trust? Practice interoceptive check-ins 3 times a day. Pair each with 1-box breathing cycle. At week's end, write your identity affirmation and log 21 small wins. You are not trying to control your mind. You are remembering who you are. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. In the late 1960s, psychologist Walter Mischel placed a marshmallow in front of a 4-year-old child and offered a choice. You can eat this one marshmallow now, or wait 15 minutes and get 2. Some children gobbled it immediately. Others used strategies, covering their eyes, singing songs, turning away to resist temptation. Decades later, Mischel's team tracked down those children. The delayers had higher SAT scores, better stress management, lower obesity rates, and greater career success. The ability to delay gratification wasn't just a childhood quirk. It was a predictor of lifelong outcomes. Today, that skill is under siege. With one tap, we can watch any video, buy any item, message any person, or numb any feeling. The marshmallow is no longer a single treat on a plate, it's an endless buffet served 24/7. Reclaiming delayed gratification isn't about denying pleasure, it's about choosing bigger rewards over smaller, immediate ones, a skill more vital now than ever. Delayed gratification lives in the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive center responsible for planning, impulse control, and future thinking. When you choose to wait, 2 systems battle. The limbic system, emotion, impulse, now screams, take it. The prefrontal cortex, reason, future, consequence, whispers, wait. In a high dopamine environment, the limbic system wins by default. Constant micro-rewards train your brain to discount the future. But neuroplasticity means this can be reversed. Every time you delay, you strengthen the prefrontal cortex like lifting a weight for your will. Psychologists call it temporal discounting. The tendency to value immediate rewards more highly than future ones, even when the future reward is larger. Example, $50 today versus $100 in a month. Many choose $50 scroll now versus finish a project that could lead to a promotion. No scroll. This isn't irrational, it's evolutionary. In environments of scarcity and danger, now is all that mattered. But in modern life, overvaluing the present sabotages long-term success. The goal is to reduce your discount rate to make the future feel real. It's vivid and valuable. Research by Hal Hirschfield shows that people who feel connected to their future self are more likely to save money, eat well, and avoid impulsive decisions. Try this. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 5 years from now. Where are you? How do you feel physically and emotionally? What habits got you there or held you back? The more vivid the image, the more your brain treats future outcomes as real, not abstract. Pre-commitment is removing your future self's ability to make a bad choice. Examples. Ulysses' pact. Like the Greek hero who had his crew tie him to the mast to resist sirens. You can block websites during work hours using apps like Freedom or Cold Turkey. Financial. Automatic transfers to savings accounts you can't access for 6 months. Social. Publicly announcing a goal, I'm writing a book. First draft by December. To raise the cost of quitting. Pre-commitment shifts the decision from a moment of weakness to a moment of strength. After losing $50,000 to online poker, David knew he couldn't trust himself in the moment of craving. He installed gambling blocking software. But he could easily uninstall it, so he went further. He gave his bank password to his brother and said, "If I ask for it, wait 48 hours and call me sober." He deleted all betting apps and told his friends to confront him if he mentioned gambling. He used pre-commitment to protect his future self from his present impulses. 3 years later, he's debt-free, married, and mentors others in recovery. I didn't stop wanting to gamble, he said. I just made it impossible to act on it. For 1 week. Practice delaying one non-essential reward by 24 hours. Examples: want to buy something online? Add to cart but wait until tomorrow. Craving YouTube after work? Schedule it for the next day at 7 p.m.? More skip it. Want to text someone impulsively? Write it in a note and send it only if you still feel the same. Tomorrow, each delay trains your brain to tolerate discomfort and value future outcomes. One delayed impulse seems trivial, but repeated daily. It rewires your brain's valuation system. Day 1. You wait 10 minutes before checking your phone. Day 10. You work 90 minutes before a break. Day 30. You invest money instead of spending it. Day 365. You've written a book, built a business, transformed your health. Delayed gratification compound silently, steadily, powerfully. Delayed gratification is a trainable skill, not an innate trait. Temporal discounting makes the future feel less real. Visualization reverses this. Pre-commitment protects your future self from present impulses. Every small delay strengthens your prefrontal cortex and builds long-term success. Choose one impulsive behavior and delay it by 24 hours. Use that time to ask, will this matter in a week, a year? Will my future self thank me or regret this? You are not denying yourself joy. You are investing in a deeper reward. The ability to subordinate an impulse to a value is the essence of the proactive person. Out. Stephen Covey now. Let's shift from internal discipline to external design. In 2023, software engineer Maya realized she checked her phone 120 times a day, not for calls or texts, but for just a quick look at Instagram, news, or email. She felt constantly distracted, yet couldn't imagine life without her devices. I need tech for work, she told herself. I can't just quit. And she read Cal Newport's Digital Minimalism and had a revelation. I don't need to quit technology. I need to choose it intentionally. She spent a weekend auditing her digital life. She deleted every app that didn't serve a core value connection, creation, or essential function. She turned off all non-human notifications. She set strict usage windows. Within a month, her screen time dropped from 6 hours to 90 minutes a day. She read 2 books. She reconnected with her partner over device-free dinners, and her coding output doubled. Maya didn't go offline. She went intentional. Digital minimalism isn't anti-technology. It's pro-humanity. It rests on 3 core principles. Clutter is costly every app. Notification, an account extracts a cognitive tax fragmenting attention, increasing anxiety and diluting focus. Optimization is cues the best tool. For the job configured to serve your values, not the platform's engagement metrics. Intentionality beats default settings. It's an out-of-box experience. If every device is designed for maximum screen time, you must actively redesign it. Ask of every digital tool, does this directly support a deeply held value or essential function? If not, remove it. Most people need only 5 to 7 essential apps. Communication messaging. Email but limited, calendar notes, maps, navigation, banking, one creative tool, writing, design, music, one learning tool, for example, Kindle, Coursera, everything else. Social media, entertainment, shopping is optional, and higher risk for dopamine hijacking. Notifications are not alerts. They are interruptions sold as services. Implement strict notification. Hygiene ban. All social media, news, and promotional alerts batch. Email and messaging check only at scheduled times. For example, 11 a.m., 4 p.m. Allow. Only real-time human communication calls, texts from close contacts, turn off badges, sounds and banners, leave only silent. Manual checking. A University of Chicago study found that people who disabled notifications reported 30% lower stress and 20% higher focus within 1 week. Once a week, unplug for 24 hours. No social media, no email, no news, no entertainment screens. Use the time for analog activities. Walking, cooking, journaling, conversation, rest. The digital Sabbath isn't religious, it's neurological.